Not this one. Okay, especially the leaders for every team. So please pay attention. Saya dah letak I actually address the crucial part of your proposal saja. Saya tak sempat tengok in detail, but you should address this. Dekat mana saya letak? Okay, this one ya. Can you see my screen, my OL screen? So dekat sini, this page here, I have dedicated each forum for every group, for each group. So inside the your own dedicated forum, so I have included my comments there in an attached document. So for example, this one, right, visa tracking system. Okay, so I've put some comments and additional details that you may need to enhance your proposal. So some team will receive that, some teams saya tak ada info tu. So here are some information, for example, for you to enhance what type of data you need to keep in your project, in your database. Okay, so but in general, the best group, I think the best proposal is ghost group. Sekejap saya tunjuk. So if you want to have a good look of a good proposal, please go to ghost group on tire management system. I think that one is the only one yang saya satisfied ikut requirement lah. The rest, some are lacking in terms of scope. Some introduction are very brief, methodology sangat general. So I would advise you to look at Ghost project. Mana? Yeah, this one, group Go Tire. Okay, so that's the proposal here. So can you see the Microsoft Word? Not yet. Just a minute. Okay, can you see now? The proposal, grey screen. Can you see now? Still no. Can you see the proposal now? Why? Microsoft Edge. Stop sharing. Okay, can you see it now? Alright. Yeah, I see everyone can see it. Okay, so I just tunjuk sikit what is the proposal, how the proposal look. Okay, so introduction. Some of you did it very brief. Saya dah bagi tahu. Actually, you should create at least a fictional introduction of an organization. If you don't have, you can Google from the internet and try to adopt. So it should say the history of the organization, when it is established, how many staff you have, how is the organizational structure, Okay, and maybe here goals group can add, I don't know, vision and mission. Okay, so how many employees? They have 10 employees. Okay, vision and mission is here. And then a problem statement. Okay, so here the group has outlined detail what are the problem statement. For example, number one is what is this? The tire dealer. The first problem is customer management. Okay, so they want the parts to be ready before customers come. Second is the stock management, sales and purchase problem. So description of the problems faced by the companies. So some of you manage very general problems. So the problem should be because you create that scenario of the organization or you adopt it from the internet. So you must tell what is the some of the problems, very specific problems, and these problems should be solved by your system. Okay, by your database system. This one objectives ada comment sikit, saya ada comment sikit. So objective usually in the form of two statement. So for example here I ask the group to correct it, to manage customers data about tire purchases or whatsoever. Second, to keep track of the inventory, for example. Third, to produce inventory report about apa-apa. Okay, so the key thing is objective. Usually we start with two and something that is measurable, yang boleh diukur at the end of your project. So if you say that to manage customer info, later I check that your table about customers are all correct, then you have achieved your objective. Okay, for example, third objective, you say to produce a sales report about tires and the brands. So when you present the final report, I will check whether the report can be produced or not. Okay, if it's achievable, then meaning that you have achieved the objective lah. So objective is something that I can measure at the end and you can see the results at the end. Okay, so macam yang ni we cannot measure to learn the development process of database management system. No, we cannot measure that. Okay, so I hope you are clear. Any questions, you can on your mic pertaining to your project. You can ask about your own project while I'm around, or you can drop in chat, but I prefer you to ask directly. Yeah. Okay, and scope. Okay, scope ni, I want some of the groups didn't outline the modules. So I would advise in scope, you describe what will be the modules covered in the system. So for example, this is, maybe you can enhance it as customer information module. So what does this module do? It will keep track about the customer's ID, blah, 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 and so on. So in product module, apa pula system tu boleh buat? In inventory, what is supposed to do? In sales also. For example, so there's a couple of modules here. Significance ni tak ada apa sangat lah saya nak comment. Significance means what will be the benefit of your system towards the organization. So I think most of the groups got it correct. And methodology, some group even just put the table. I said that the table as a reference for you to describe each stage. Okay, not simply just put that table, that's it. Okay, I think I've mentioned in WhatsApp group or can't remember that you should describe every stage. So database planning, apa yang you nak buat? Okay, bukan direct from my notes ya. What actually you want to do for your project. Okay, requirement collection, for example, from where you gonna get the requirement? So for example, apa ni? Group yang buat MOU. So patutnya you kata the requirement, you will collect the requirements from the website of CIAC UUM, for example, Center of International Office, because that's where you get some information about MOU and so on. What forms do you refer? So for example, group tire, maybe you have inspect sales form. tire order form. So sebab because from the document, the hard copy of the forms is where you're going to pick up the attributes for your database. Okay, so that's why requirement collection and analysis is very important. If you interviewed any maybe any of your relatives yang kerja ada syarikat to understand the business process, or maybe you go to certain websites to understand the requirements, or maybe you you can also go to the internet to see sample of invoice forms, order forms. Okay, so requirement basically apa benda yang you buat to collect the data. So in this case, you want to build database. So what sources of information you refer to gather the data, the attributes, the relationship, and so on. So I think requirement collection analysis, most of the groups, I think almost all didn't do it correctly. Okay, and database design is where you design your database, blah, blah, blah. So yang ni, at least the group has come out to show some kind of design, although this is required in deliverable 2. Okay, so lepas ni, what I'm going to do is I want to explain what you are supposed to do for the next milestone, yeah. So yeah, this is actually what you do for the next process, but in more detail. And the rest is okay lah. So interface design, maybe you want to have interface design is your third deliverable actually, but you can explain. Okay, so that is basically my comments. I think majority lacks in objectives needs to be corrected. Tengok balik my specific comments for your group. Introduction, some you must add, in some group you must add some introduction. Methodology, okay, you can improve your requirement collection part and so on. Okay, so I'm not going to give mark based on this first draft, but the final mark is on your resubmission. So make sure you can refer to Ghost team and try to improve your own proposal based on my comment, my specific comments, and in some groups I attach certain files that you can refer. So please go through that files and improve your modules, your scope, okay, and your objective. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, you can go to the online learning and see your specific comments. Then you can ask me later in the WhatsApp also. Okay, if anything that you are not clear. Okay, next saya nak explain what you have to do for the next step. Okay, someone asked resubmission. I'm going to ask all groups to present next Thursday your a bit intro of your deliverable 1 plus deliverable 2. Okay, so now I'm going to explain on deliverable 2 what you are supposed to do. Can you see my OL screen? Mana? Okay, proposal. Not yet. Stop sharing. Okay, can you see my OL now? Okay. Thank you, Ayuni. So, I already put what is expected from your deliverable 2 here. So this is where you click for your own group feedback. Okay. Project 1 feedback just now that I showed you. So go to your respective group and see my comments, and you can also go to Ghost group to see how they do it. Okay. And then okay, let us focus on the next deliverable, what you're supposed to do. Okay, project second deliverable is requirement and design. First, you have to create the business requirements, write down in the format of case study so I can identify the process, business flows, entities involved, attributes, multiplicity of relationship. So for every entities and attributes identified, define the data types, whether it's varchar, numeric, float, for example. Then define the relationship, apply the constraint and multiplicities, and draw the complete ERD. Or if you have EERD. Okay? So faham tak? Apa yang you kena buat is like the case study is like what we normally have in your in what we learned before. So normally we'll have in case study form, case study format. No, not this one, sorry. Where's your assignment? Okay, so maksudnya the final one of the deliverable in your deliverable 2 adalah you have to produce this diagram. Okay, so make sure you identify correctly the entities, the attributes, the relationship, and this one, the multiplicities. Okay, but before you come up with this, you must provide me the case study. Okay, kalau tidak macam mana saya nak check all these entities. So you have to write down the entities. Sorry, the case study. Just a minute. Okay, so what I meant by case study is the normal what you always face during our exercise dengan midterm pun ya. So maksudnya you have to provide that this kind of case study. So just a bit introduction and the business flow here. So for example, the hotels keep the following information about each customer. So I know that, okay, the first entity is customer. And how is the business flow of the hotel reservation? First, the customer can make one or more reservation. And then a reservation can be assigned on one or many groups. So for example, tire management system. A customer can order one or many tires, but they have to, and in every order they have to specify what. So every single detail you have to put in the case study. So I would advise for you to apa ni, to sketch out the business flow first. So for example, business you apa? Business you katakan MOU management system. So how does the MOU starts? Okay, first a collaborator of us approach a university. Then how do the process start? Okay, bila dah sign MOU, we need to conduct activities. These activities can be either seminar, student exchange, staff exchange, and then you can further specific the details of the activities. For a student exchange, only 3 students for each university can be exchanged, for example. Okay, so the objective you do that supaya the ER diagram that you created is correct. Okay, and I can check all the details based on your case study here. Okay, so make sure you detail out. So this one is a very short one. I expect yours should be longer, where you detail out every process maybe. So look at your modules, apa yang you nak buat, and detail out in your case study. So for example, apa lagi sistem kita ada? COVID tracking. So you can say that when in a scenario, a person can be infected based on apa-apa. Lepas tu, the details that need to be recorded for an infected person is apa-apa. And it's very important. Every patient is usually can be tracked to a source of infection or a cluster. So this cluster contain apa-apa. So you have to describe in that way. So we can base how do you check the case study? From your case study, you can extract the entities, attributes, relationship and multiplicities. Kalau you baca your own case study, you tak boleh extract, means you have to add more information in that case study. Okay? So the marks are given based on the case study that you provide, which is the business requirement. Next is the ER model. You have to draw the ER model. So, and then the third is the declaration of data types for entities and attributes. Okay, for declaration of data types, please use the correct format. I will paste later the link that you can follow. We are using my SQL punya format lah. Okay. So that's about second deliverable that you have to prepare and present together with your intro. Nanti saya list down lah apa I would like to have for next presentation, okay? So make sure everyone in your group present. It's going to be on next Thursday. Khamis, yeah? Any question? Any questions so far? Okay, kalau tak ada, I know maybe sebab you tak tengok lagi my comments. Okay, so when you have read your comments, you have issues, you can WhatsApp me in the group, yeah? No. You don't have to submit second project this Friday. Saya akan ubah. Everything is on next Thursday. Okay? So kalau tak ada, I'll end the class here now. Okay? Please have a look. Correct it and do your second deliverable. Okay? So that's all for today. And I hope to see improved presentation on Thursday, next Thursday, okay? Okay. Thank you for joining today. That's all. Siapa tak scan lagi ya? Ada ke yang tak scan? Sekejap. Okay, those of you yang tak sempat scan lagi, boleh scan.
Thank you, Doktor.
Alright, welcome.
Hi Megan,
Yes.
saya ialah grup daripada itu buat visa tracking system.
Yeah, okay. Have you looked into my comments?
I see other group they has the word file and
Oh, tak ada eh? I tak attach lah. Oh, sorry. Nanti I attach. Tapi I ada attach PDF tu kan?
betul.
Okay, sekejap lagi I attach. Alright.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.